See, I'm old. I'm learning technology, so you have to bear with me. So, um, I'm one of the Women of Vision Society of Alberta. We are an organization of women helping families and children and women. And all we wanted to do is to make sure that we're all living a healthy life. It could be true mental health, it could be true emotional health, it could be true physical health. Oh, speaking of physical health, we have Zumba tomorrow. So have your parents sign you up and themselves up for Zumba. Anybody can join Zumba. So tomorrow afternoon, there is Zumba. So that's physical health. We do medical health, you know, all kinds of health, anything that makes us all live a healthy, vibrant, happy life. That's what we do. And you can tell your parents about us as well, because this class that you guys are going to be enjoying tonight, we have 2 more classes like that coming up for adults. So when you share with your parents, tell them to share with their friends. And when you share with your friends, tell them to tell their parents. Okay? So we're all counting on everybody to help us spread the word, because we want as many people to learn and live a very, very fulfilling life. And that's what Women of Vision is all about. Okay? Right now, I'm not going to talk too much. So I'm going to introduce Mrs. Nneka Marcus. Mrs. Marcus is a certified professional counselor with a master's degree in psychology. Okay, so this evening, she's going to be teaching us or sharing information with us that things we don't know about emotional intelligence. During this COVID, emotional intelligence has been coming on board slowly for a few years now. But during this COVID time, it's more and more and more important. I read a study not too long ago. I will have to say in December. I read a study that's saying that in the next 5 years, there are lists of profession, there are lists of important area of our lives that we need to pay attention to. And outside of mental health, emotional intelligence is number 2. And that is getting to know yourselves, your emotions, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, what is it that you want, what is it that you don't want. So I'm going to let Mrs. Marcus take us on a journey of discovering and learning about emotional intelligence tonight. Thank you, Mrs. Marcus, and thank you guys for attending. Make sure that you ask lots of questions. She's going to present, and when it's time to ask questions, she will let us know. Also, on the side here, if you want to type your question, you can type it inside the chat. Okay? If you want to type your question, you can type it inside the chat, and I will help her read out the question to her, and she can answer it. Or you can raise your hand and I will ask you to unmute yourself, and then you can ask your question. Okay? Are we all good? Give me a thumbs up if you're all good. Give me a thumbs up. Are you good? I see thumbs. Okay. Okay. Some people, oh, thank you. I see more thumbs up. Keep it coming. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I see thumbs up. Even those of you who are not showing your faces, I would like to see your thumbs up. Okay, keep the thumbs up coming. I still have a few that I haven't seen their thumbs yet. Keep it coming. Hey, good, 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 good. So, Mrs. Marcus, please take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen and I hope that you will all see it. And then we'll just go from there.
It's good.
Okay. Oh. Okay, can you all see? It's good? All right, so now, I just need to say that, okay, let me just reduce this. All right, so emotional intelligence. First of all, our mommy, our sister has introduced me, so I don't need to go into all of that. I just want to say that when I came to Canada, I didn't know a lot about emotions. Emotions is just something that we didn't do much of, or maybe we did, but we didn't know how to express them in appropriate ways. And so, well, I have all this work to do on how to express emotion. So I volunteered in many places, and one place I volunteered in is called the Transition House. And part of what I learned there was how to be aware of your emotion. And also I learned a lot about emotional abuse too. So I didn't know there was anything like that. And as a parent, I have two children, and as a parent, I just did what I thought was best for my children, because it was based on what I knew from my background, from parents and people around me. So at one point, started to learn a lot about it. So I had to talk to my children about emotions, and even apologizing to them about what I have done to them to that when I didn't listen to them and listen to what they're feeling and how they're feeling it and what is going on in their hearts, in their lives. And so what came out of that was I wrote a book with my daughter after a while, and we shared how we experience emotions and everything like that. So that is the book there. And I also write some workshops and worksheets, like how to journal your hurts, your pain, your emotions, how to journal them in a way that it will help you to be more aware of what is going on in you. So I also do speaking all over the place. And one of the great topics that I like to talk about is addressing relationship hurts. Relationships can hurt us because we are different. We are different from one another. Your sister, your brother, they're different from you. Your parents even are different, even though they are your parents, and you are also different. So so it's good to know how to express emotions very well. So I have a website, Instagram, email, and all that. I will send all that to you when you want. And then at the end, anyway, if you are interested, and also how to get the book that I was talking about. Now, sorry. So let's just dive in. We're going to begin with the definition, some definition. So we're looking at emotion. What is it? What is an emotion? It's just the instinct. It's a natural thing. It's about the mood in you that you feel, what you feel in your body. Sometimes when you feel an emotion, manifests. It shows in your physical body. Like if you're so happy, sometimes your heart will race. If you're angry, sometimes your heart will race as well. If you're sad, sometimes you have headaches, and so there's a connection or the body and the emotions. So the emotion is defined as what you feel. Feeling is the awareness. When you start to know that you are feeling something, that there's an emotion that's happening. So that is feeling. So just a little difference between the definition of emotion and feeling. So intelligence, what is it? It's about what you've learned, what you understand about it, and how to apply the knowledge. It's applying the knowledge that you've learned very well. So
can we go back one step?
Oh.
Somebody wants to understand more about what is emotion itself. I think he got how we feel it, but what is it?
The emotion is a natural thing that you feel, that you sense that something is going on there, that something is happening. An emotion is like, it's derived from circumstances. It's derived from your mood. It's derived also from your relationship with other people. So emotion is a natural instinct, so to speak. It's a natural thing that you sense, that you experience in your body, in yourself, when something happens. Okay, does that explain it? Hopefully. Okay. So really, feeling is when you begin to sense it in your body, you feel an emotion, you feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel happy, you feel mad, you feel angry, you feel, so feeling, we always use the emotion and feeling interchangeably, but I'm just saying that there's a very fine line between those two, and expressing that feeling is the expression, emotion is what's happened. Okay, so intelligence, of course, is about learning what you've learned, what you understand about what you've learned, and how you apply the knowledge. So if you're able to do those three, you're intelligent. It's like you're learning maths. Math is there. Teacher says something, you learn it. You go home and you study it, you understand it. And then the application of that knowledge is how to now put it in perspective of what you need to be doing about it.
How you put it all together.
All together. So when you are able to put it all together well, that is intelligence. And intelligence also has levels. You still have intelligence, even if you are not able to put it all together properly. It's just maybe an average level of intelligence in that area. So everybody can tell you, oh, you're just a dummy, or you're not intelligent. You tell them, yes, I am. In this area, I am. In another area, I may not be as intelligent, but I still have a level of understanding. So when we put it all together, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your emotion and other people's emotion, and be able to apply what we are going to teach you today to do the emotions well. So emotional intelligence is about assessing your own emotion and managing it properly. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. So now, I told you when I was learning about emotions, I didn't know that there are more words about it. All we knew was mad, sad, glad, afraid. So every other thing is like, there's nothing else in emotion, but there are different emotions, different categories of emotion, different levels, different intensity. So when you say, I'm just mad at you, okay, are you really mad, or are you frustrated, or are you upset, or are you just agitated, or are you disgusted about it, or Or if you say, oh, I'm just so sad, I'm so depressed. Are you really sad and depressed? Or are you just hurt? Or are you just lonely? Or are you just kind of miserable? And when you look at the low intensity of sadness, it's like, are you disappointed? Or are you dissatisfied about something? So there are many different levels and intensity of feelings. And that is so important for us to know, because when we are mad, we are able to sit back and say, okay, what am I really feeling? Am I depressed, or am I just disappointed? Or am I just dissatisfied about something? Or am I irritated about something? Or you know how you say, oh, he's just so irritating, or he's just so annoying. So all those things are important to know, so that we are able to put things in a way that we're able to be aware and name and be able to say, this is what I'm feeling exactly. Okay, moving on. So emotional intelligence is extended. You know, there are many definitions of emotional intelligence, and they extend it so wide that it involves the ability to be able to do all these things that I've listed here. To be motivated, to be able to face frustration without breaking things, for instance, to be able to control your impulse and be able to delay gratification. Like if you want something and you want it now, you can delay that, you can control that impulse, and you can delay the need that you have. And then number 3 is regulating your own mood. Are you able to keep your own mood under, like just being able to think before you react or before you respond to something? And you're able to also empathize with the other person. Somebody may offend you, and you look at them and think, oh, wow, okay, maybe they woke up from the wrong side of the bed today. Or maybe somebody told them something that offended them, and so they're taking it on me. So empathy is being compassionate towards the other person. And then there's hope. And I was telling you about how when I came to Canada, and I was thinking about hope, and my private practice in counseling is called Hope Alive. And it's about hope. And for me, it's all about the war against hopelessness. And you're thinking that maybe, okay, maybe I'm just hopeless in math. I'm just hopeless in English because somebody said it, or because dad said it, or because the teacher said it. But I am saying that I am not a hopeless person. So hope is the key. That hope is saying that we are able to do it. We have the potential to be intelligent, to be emotionally intelligent. So here's just a quote about emotional intelligence. It says that it adds more, far more, of the qualities that make us more fully human. And they say also in another quote, which I'm not going to bother you with, that emotional intelligence is actually as important as IQ. So IQ is about knowledge, about understanding, is about somebody has a high IQ. That means they know all these subjects, and they are very intelligent in that. But
people IQ will be people who are book smart.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence are people who are life smart. So being life smart is just as important as being book smart. And if you put both of them together and you are smart in both of them, you have a happy life.
That's right. So if you know your emotions and you're able to connect it, because then you are becoming intelligent about emotions. And I just want to throw this in because emotions and thoughts, because when you feel something, you start to think something. You feel and you think, you feel and you think all the time. And when you have thoughts that are not so good, that are negative, it affects your brain. It affects the way you behave, your cognition, which is like your way of thinking, and your thoughts, your attitude, your behavior. So when you feel what you feel and you think what you think, if they are good thoughts, then it has positive effect on you and your mind. And that is what somebody, I mean, like, I will introduce you to this person. She's a neuroscientist, and she has a lot of podcasts. Her work is not just for adults, it's for young people as well. So if you want to learn more about mind, the mind is where you learn how to do emotions and thoughts, and your brain is the physical brain that you have. And so there's a connection between them. And when because they are connected, they affect each other, they influence each other. So it's what they call neuroscience. There's a neuroscience factor on emotions. It deals with the structure of your nervous system. That is everything that makes you you. And your nervous system to your brain, everything connects together with the emotion and your thoughts, the way you think and what you think about. So I just wanted to throw that in to say that emotions affect a lot of other areas of our lives. Okay, so here's the science of it. And I'm not a scientist or anything, but I know that from all these things, amygdala is the trigger point of emotion. That's like you have the emotion of your brain back there. The brain of your emotion, where emotions happen is in your brain. And so your prefrontal cortex is where you think and you reason. And if you look at that picture, that's the position of those two areas. And those two areas actually affect each other.
Can I just explain this prefrontal cortex, especially for you that are on here? The front, where it's a little dark, that's where all your development and all your thinking and everything is located. And because you are young, it has not fully developed yet. In young people, that front area where it's dark, it's not fully developed until you are about 20, 21 years old. So as you are getting older, this age here, that's why it's important for us to put good things and good positive way of thinking and managing your emotion and everything in here, because it's still developing. Okay?
And the good news is that when we learn to engage the prefrontal cortex more than the amygdala, which is the brain of your emotion or emotion of your brain, you start to do better in many areas of your life. So that is why when you are able to address your emotions well, you will see that your thoughts will also be better. And when you are able to do your thoughts, good thoughts, then you're able to function better in life. Okay, now, where is it? Okay, now here's the one thing that I want you to, if you have a pen and paper, to write this down. This is a more practical for you right now. When something happens to you that you feel bad about, when something happens to you that you know that, oh gosh, this is really bad. I'm feeling some negative vibes going on. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about personal and social competence, where you now look at what is happening. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you think? And what do you do? So all these 5 aspects here is a skill. It's a skill for skill of competence. So you want to be competent in understanding emotional intelligence. You want to be very competent. So when you write this down, and we're going to do a little bit of an exercise later with this thing, this list. This list will help you a lot of times before you say anything, before you react, or even if that thing has been bothering you for a while. This is a skill that you can use to address them, to look at them properly in a way that you will know that, okay, so this is what I should do about this situation. Okay, so we'll come back to that later. Now, emotional intelligence has 5 components. I mean, there are other things that people talk about, but here are the most important 5 major areas of emotional intelligence. Now, so are you self-aware? Are you aware of your emotion? Can you self-regulate? Like I was saying earlier, can you self-regulate? Can you manage it? Some people can't manage their emotions. When they're angry, oh, God help whoever comes around. And also when they're happy too, you know, it's like they don't care what's going on around them, or if somebody is sad, they just express it so much. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that being able to regulate will be a better way in life. And also self-motivation. And we're going to go into each of this one by one. So are you able to motivate yourself to be emotionally intelligent, to tell yourself that, no, I'm not going to act that way. I'm going to act this way instead, because this way is better. Can you be empathic? Like I was saying, can you be compassionate towards somebody else so that when you are angry, you're not just going for their face with your fist. You are empathic. You're looking at them selflessly, just not acting according to your feelings. And then social skills is something else that is about the relationship, the community, how you do your emotions within a community, like in your class. How do you do emotions in your class? When somebody is disrupting the class, or when you are not understanding what the teacher is saying, how do you do it? Do you start throwing tantrums, or do you bang on the table? Or how do you do social skills? How do you express yourself in social setting, in places like your classroom, or in any group that you're in? How do you understand the guidelines? How do you do the guidelines well that is put before you in those group settings? So social skills. So I've just put that all together in one slide there, but I will just go straight to them one by one. So let's talk about self-awareness. Knowing yourself. How do you describe yourself? What do you say about yourself? Do you sometimes say, oh, I'm just so stupid, I'm just so crazy, I'm just weird, how do you describe yourself? Or do you say, I'm a good person and I am loyal, I love people, and when I'm angry, I talk to somebody about it? Or how do you describe yourself in a way that it's an awareness, in that sense of knowing that this is who I am? So when you know who you are, and you are able to know your emotions and name them, like the slide I showed you earlier, you're able to say, this is what I'm feeling. I feel frustrated. I'm not exactly angry. I'm not there at the anger place, but I am just frustrated. Because anger can be the high level of the emotion in that rank. So if you're just irritated, then you can learn how to address irritation rather than manage anger. Okay, so you're not, the anger there is just a step above what you're feeling. So, but I mean, of course, if you are angry, then you're able to say, I'm really angry. And you can learn how to also address anger in a more manageable way. So physiological sign, it just means how you feel it in your body. So when you're angry or sad or mad, do you cry? Do tears come? Or are you feeling pain or knotted in your stomach? Or are you shaking? Are you sweating? And all of that. So there are sometimes when you feel emotions, you find that some things happen in your body. So these are part of self-awareness. So if you're aware that, oh, why am I sweating? Oh, it's because I'm angry. What do I do with that now? So you're monitoring your feelings and then your thoughts and your actions that come with it. So when you're mad, you are actually sweating, or your chest or your heart start to race. Then that's when you stop and think. That's when you can go and meditate, or go and meditation means that just sit down, have some deep breaths, and then think before you talk or act. Think before you talk. And I always recommend journaling too. I don't know if do people journal? Do you all like to write things down? Anybody? Just give me a yes. Yeah, some people do. You write things down when you feel hurt, or you feel some pain, or you feel whatever you feel. So these are ways to become self-aware. Okay.
What did you say?
About?
What's your question?
What did you say about those feelings? I mean, the question you just asked us.
Okay.
I
asked
if you write things down when you are feeling angry or upset or things like that. Do you do that? Okay.
Good. And that's what we call journaling. Journaling is a way to improve your self-awareness. Okay, thanks for is that happy face or wow face? Okay, thank you for the face anyway. So yeah, so the way to improve it is to journal, meditate, think before you act or talk. Okay. Then the next one, you remember that list I had, is about self-regulation and management. So are you able to manage? It's almost the same thing, but it's just saying managing your emotions or recognizing your triggers. What are the things that are actually inside of you that is triggering you right now? Somebody may do something wrong to you. Let's say somebody took your pen in class, okay? And what trigger means is that you react to it because somebody had already taken your pen last year or last week and you were mad at them. And a trigger is something that is already inside of you that makes you to react to somebody else today. So for instance, if your sister or your brother is always yelling at you and somebody else yells at you, it triggers that your sister's yelling and what it does to you and the feeling you had when your sister yelled at you. And so that's what we call trigger. And it's important to be able to know that when somebody does something that hurts you, to look at it and think about when somebody hurt you before that is similar to what is done today, okay? So part of managing it is to manage the trigger, to be able to say, okay, my sister did that to me and I need to deal with it. So in dealing with what your sister did, your trigger will be in a low level. So that when somebody else yells at you, you address them as they are.
Separately from your sister.
Yeah, not with the anger that you had against your sister yesterday when she yelled at you. And these things happen. It's all in our subconscious. That means it's all there. It's not like we keep a record, but it's there because we all have memories, right? Your brain has a memory bank where things are stored. And when things are stored in your mind, in your brain, then it's what we call, that's when things trigger. And it's a normal thing, it's a natural thing. But we need to just know how to deal with those triggers so that we are dealing with every situation differently, okay? So those are generally how to manage. And the managing of it is sharing your experience. You can share with somebody, talk to a friend, talk to your parents that they can help you to address all these things that are triggering, that are making you feel sad or bad inside. So, and another thing to improve your emotional intelligence is to be positive. So being positive, I'm sure you've heard a lot about that, is part of learning how to grow in your emotional intelligence. And then healthy confrontation. Some of you can't confront somebody, especially when they are your parents or your sisters. Most of the time, what we do is we stuff things in. You've heard about people bottling things and putting things inside and suppressing things that are hurting them. When you are hurt, it's good to be able to talk about it in a way that you will be listened to and not yelling and screaming about it, but coming to talk about it in a way that it will be received. So these are some of the ways to improve your emotional intelligence in this area of self-regulation and management. So the next thing is self-motivation. And I'm going to stop here if you have any questions about the first three.
I think it's Chuku. Okay, somebody's raising their hands here. So unmute yourself and ask your question. Unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, here you go. Okay, ask your question.
I've heard a lot about positive.
Okay.
Okay, are you asking a question or you are making a comment?
Comment. I wasn't asking a question.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, being positive is good. It can help you a lot in maintaining a high level of intelligence. Okay. Okay, I'll just go on and then we can stop again for questions. I know there's a lot of information and I want to run through it, but I will focus on specific things at the end. So motivating yourself is about reminding yourself of self-control, okay? So I'm sure you've heard about things like, oh, can you control yourself? Please control yourself. You know, those things that it's important to be able to control yourself. So the other thing about motivation is, what are your strengths? What is your purpose? What is the reason for doing what you're doing? So you're able to ask yourself those questions and answer them yourself. And that is the important thing about journaling. If you have a journal, you can journal all these statements here and just answer all these questions for yourself. creating goals for yourself, celebrating your own accomplishments. When you do something that is more than you have ever done, celebrate yourself. And deep breathing, like I said, is also part of it. Just breathing and breathe out. And we're going to practice that at the end as well. Do you know that your best friend is you? Yes? Yes.
I see people smiling. It is true. You are your own best friend.
Your own best friend. If you befriend yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do good. I'm going to, that's how you befriend yourself. And you're not just looking at your friends and say, oh, that's my best friend. I mean, there's nothing wrong in having best friends. Thanks for that laughing face. Yeah. You don't have to wait for a friend to be your best friend. Be your own best friend and learn and be as positive and as
happy.
And be happy, yes. So I'll just go on to the next one, empathy. Okay, we've talked about empathy, just being willing to listen to others and
feeling what other people are feeling.
Yeah. When you talk with somebody, or when somebody is talking to you, you are listening to understand, not to argue. Because some people just want to hear what people are saying so that they can argue and say an opposite thing. Learn to listen to understand and to be understood. Because when you listen to understand, you will be understood. Because somebody else will want to understand you because you are trying to understand where they are coming from. So the last one there is the creative speaking and active listening. Active listening is about confirming with somebody what they're saying. That means that when they say, oh, this happened and that happened, oh, this and that happened, or, so you're confirming with them. You're not assuming that you know what they're saying. So that is active listening. When you are doing creative speaking, you're not speaking to accuse somebody else. You're not speaking to make somebody feel bad. You're speaking from your heart and you're saying, okay, what you did made me feel sad. That is speaking. What you did made me feel sad. And if somebody said that to you and you want to respond with active listening, you say, oh, what I did made you feel sad? Is that what you're saying? What did I do to make you feel sad? And then you can also acknowledge what their sadness is. So these are also points to how to improve your emotional intelligence, because it's all about the feeling, it's all about hurts, it's also all about joys. So you're able to express hurt and you're able to express your joy in very appropriate ways. So the next thing is social skills. Like I said earlier, it's about the relationship. It's about the community, your classroom, your group. Wherever you find yourself in a group, what do? Do you want to dominate, or do you want to be so quiet that nobody hears your voice? So social skills are very important for us. So you improve on that. There are conflicts. Conflicts will always happen, right? So it's good to be able to talk about them, like I was saying on the slide prior to this, before that, learning how to talk and express yourself. If you learn how to talk and express yourself appropriately now, when you grow older, it will become part of you. Okay?
Even now.
I have a question.
Okay, somebody's got a question. Who's got a question? Unmute yourself. Who has a question? Unmute and ask your question. We can't hear you.
Actually, never mind. I realized something.
You can type it. You can type it in the chat, and I can read it out. So while you're typing it.
Okay. So I'll just finish this.
Okay.
Oh, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say while the person is typing, we're talking about if you have a good emotional intelligence, you really connected with your own emotions. Even when you are in conflict and somebody upsets you at home or at school, you will be able to have good control of yourself and tell the person how they have upset you without getting into fights. But still letting them know that they upset you and tell them what they did exactly that upsets you, and you would like them not to do it anymore.
Right. Good. And so it's important not to minimize what you're feeling about something. And it's important not to deny it. And it's important not to be aggressive about it. Okay, so you bring it to her or him as like you're just talking. Okay, you know what? When you did this, it just hurt my feelings, and I will rather you don't do that again. And of course, you may not get the response you want at that time. At least for that time, you have expressed yourself. That's the most important. Okay. So be bold. Be bold to do self-expression respectively.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. So be respectful. Respect is what everybody deserves, whether they are, whatever they're doing. Everybody deserves respect. So tell them, as long as you are respectful of them, you are respectful of what, that's who you are. And that's why we talked in the beginning that know who you are. You are the respectful person. If somebody does something wrong to you that is disrespectful and you disrespect them back, what does that mean? Yeah?
Okay. Unmute yourself.
Paying back.
Yeah.
That means you're paying back. That's right.
Yeah. And also it means that you are disrespectful, just like them. You are again on the same level now. You are telling them that you are a disrespectful person. Okay. So if they disrespect you and you disrespect them back, then that's what you're doing. But when they disrespect you and you express yourself, tell them strongly and boldly that you would not like that to happen. So if they call you names and you call them names back, then you're on the same level. Okay, and you're paying back. That's true. Okay, so what you're asking yourself is, what is most appropriate action in in this place where I am right now? Okay, now I said we're going back to this. So now I will tell you something, and then you can just tell me, answer these 5 questions, okay? I'll give you a scenario, okay? And then you can answer these statements as they are, okay? So now, a friend tells you that another friend called you stupid and ignorant. So a friend comes to you and says, oh, you know what? James just called you stupid and ignorant. What will you do? Look at the thing on the screen and tell me, answer them according to what I've written there for you, okay? So what do you see? You say, I see. What do you?
How many people do we have want to answer here? I see 2 hands from one room there. Okay, unmute yourself and answer according to this list here.
What is the question again?
A friend tells you that another friend called you stupid and ignorant.
If I were in the class, I would go tell my teacher.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, number one, following this, what do you see in that statement? What do you see?
I see.
Remember, the person didn't say it to you directly. Somebody else came to tell you. So you will see somebody trying to create a fight between you and somebody else. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. What do you hear? What do you hear that the person said? What do you hear?
Get down.
Huh?
I can forgive them.
You're
Yeah.
gonna pass?
Forgive them, she said.
Forgive them, okay.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
What we're trying to say here is, how do you deal with it in yourself as a person? You know, what do you see in that whole scenario? What do you see? Why would your friend come to tell you that another friend called you stupid?
Can you please give an example of how to do it for them?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Maybe make one scenario.
Oh, okay. Okay, that may help. So, so I will do this one and then I'll give you another one, okay? So like Mrs. Starr was saying that, what do you see in this scenario? This is just about learning to use your senses, okay, in situations like this. And your senses are connected to your emotions, okay? Because your emotion is part of it. So you see that a friend wants to cause problems with you and the other friend. That may be one thing you see. You may also see that maybe this friend is not a good friend. You may also see the person's body language. You may also see their eyes. You may see a lot of things in them as they are telling you things. So what you see physically is what we're talking about. So you may see, oh, they are talking loudly. Yeah? So that's what you will see. So what do you hear? Okay, I hear that the friend called me stupid. That's what you hear, right? You heard that the friend said that, I mean, the friend called you, the other friend called you stupid. That's what you hear. So how does that make you feel? Is what do you feel about? What do you feel right now as the friend was telling you? What would you feel if somebody came to tell you that? You may feel sad. You may feel disappointed. You may be mad. You may be frustrated. That's what you will feel, naturally feel. And what do you think? You may think what we said earlier, that, oh, this person just wants to cause trouble with this other friend, or this person is just making things up, or that other friend is the one that's stupid. So you can think a lot of things. A lot of thoughts come to us when we hear things like that. Okay. So what do? You go to that other friend and confront them or kick them Or do you tell this friend that's coming to tell you to not tell you things like that? So what do you do with what's happened? Okay, so I know it's a lot of information here, but the thing is, when you're learning something, emotional intelligence helps you to calm down and look at things in different dimensions, in different areas, in different ways.
Before you act.
Yeah, before you act. And this is all that makes you more competent personally and socially. That means whether you're in a group or you're in your family or you're with your friends or with your siblings or you are on your own. Okay, I think I will stop there for questions. Or should I give another scenario?
I think maybe give another example, especially when it comes to a group in schools, like I like you, I don't like you, it's you I like, and little groups like that where kids are beginning to put each other down in order to jostle for position, or where they are saying that, oh, if you do this, then I'll be your friend. Or if you don't do this, then you are not my friend. How does emotional intelligence and social skills works for the kids in that situation? Maybe an example in that area.
Okay, so what about a friend comes to you and says that I don't want to be your friend anymore?
Oh, you can't come to my birthday.
You can, yes. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Or a friend took your position too. Sorry. Probably you are the line leader and your friend took over the line instead of you.
Yeah. So let's use one of those. You're not invited to my birthday party. So what do you see in that? What do you hear? What do you feel? How does that make you feel? Anybody?
Okay, unmute yourself.
You can make me feel mad or sad.
Okay.
Or even frustrated.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Yeah, that's good. So what do you think? What do you think about that? What's in your mind? What will be your mind? What will you be thinking?
Will you be thinking that maybe the person doesn't like you?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? You can write in the chat. If you don't want to ask the question, write it in the chat and I will ask it for you. Okay.
So it's about what you feel and what you think. What you feel and what you think. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's even leave the number one and two. What about the three, 4, and 5? What do you feel? How do you feel? What do you think? And what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can answer.
Yeah, I will feel lonely or isolated.
Okay. Good.
Or
did everybody hear that? The person said they will feel lonely and isolated.
Mm-hmm. What would you do then? Who answered that? Tell us what you will do.
If I'm going to be...
You are echoing.
Okay, hold on, please.
Okay. Okay, the person said, I will try and make new friends.
Ah, okay.
Yes, if I'm going to be positive, did you oppose it?
Okay.
If I'm going to be positive, I'll ask the friend, what did I do that you don't want to be my friend anymore? At least get clarification.
Right. That's a good one.
What did you eat?
Yeah. Why are you not inviting me to your birthday party? Did I do something?
Wrong.
Is there something wrong? What is the matter? And all that. And when they answer, you're able to say, okay, sure, then I can make new friends. But how do you deal with the feeling, the emotion, the feeling of it, of that? The feeling is, I am sad and what? Lonely. So how do you change your feeling to something else that is positive? So when you decide on the action and you say, okay, I will ask you, you've asked them and they've answered you. And now you've said, okay, I will make new friends. By saying that, you are changing your emotion, you're changing your feeling to happy feeling. You're coming back to that happy place. Your happy place is where you make a positive, you make positive action that will help you, that will tell you that you're not just somebody that should be lonely and sad. You're saying that, okay, if that doesn't happen, I will make new friends. And immediately you will begin to think about the new friends that you're going to make, how to begin to do that. And you're on your way to happy again. So what you do will determine how you change your emotion. And it's important to change emotion because negative emotion is not good for our body. Like I was saying in that before, that when you are negative, when you have negative emotion and negative thoughts, that means negative just means bad thoughts or thoughts that are not nice, that they don't make you happy, unpleasant thoughts. When you have all that, if it affects your mind and your brain and your body and you start to have all these things happening in your body. But when you now change that thought, when the thought has changed, the emotions change as well. And then you can move into happy thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to end there because I know our time is spent. So the point with emotional intelligence is actually understanding your emotions and applying what you're learning to come back to be happy when you have unpleasant emotions or unpleasant feelings.
Or when you encounter something that you are uncomfortable with. You know, some people, when they are mad, they throw tantrums, or they scream, or they kick, or they yell. That is poor management of emotion. But when you realize that I'm feeling sad right now, or I'm feeling unhappy right now, and I'm feeling hurt right now, I go and take time, go in the corner, calm down, come back to the person or to mommy or to daddy or to friend or to whomever and say, you know what, I was upset about this and that, and I don't want you to do that anymore. Or maybe you're just upset because mommy and daddy says you need to do dishes or you need to do whatever. you can be upset that you don't have to make a big scene, a big show of it.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody says I will calm. Yeah, and calming down is an
Calm
action.
down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So those three things that you will do is change your thoughts, apply what you're learning, and know who you are, bring yourself back to who you are, make a good action, create a good action, and your emotions will change, and to be more, to become happier. You will become happier. And so that is the skill that we're trying to teach you now, because at your age, I know that some of you are maybe 9, 10, 11 or older, but at your age, when you are able to do good action, an action that is not like you're just being angry and throwing things, you do a better action than that, you will see that your emotion will become better and you will be happier.
It also helps you also sometimes when mom is telling you to do this, do this, do this, do that. The empathy, understanding other people's feelings will also help you have a better relationship with your mommy and daddy. If you understand why they are asking you to do what they ask you to do. And if you don't understand, do it and then ask them later on, why do I need to do that? Because you just wanted to understand, because you've already done what they ask you to do, and then you come back to ask why, rather than asking why when they are telling you to do stuff. So it creates a win-win for everybody. I think Sandra has a question. Do you have a question? Unmute yourself. No? Okay. Anybody has any question before we wrap up? No? Well, this has been good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Marcus, for this time. The 1 hour went so fast.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Remember what I said at the beginning to everyone. Tomorrow afternoon is Zumba, and Zumba is dance class, Zumba dance class. Tell everybody about it, okay? Tell everybody about Zumba tomorrow. Register. It's for everybody in the family. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters. What's that? Somebody is saying something?
What's the time of Zumba?
I think it is, somebody else can help me if you remember there. I think it's 1 to, let me see, Zumba, 5 to 6, the night. It's 3 to, oh my goodness, I'm not sure of the time.
3 to 4.
3 to 4, okay. It's 3 to 4 tomorrow.
Do they have the Zoom number and the code to join in if they are not registered?
They can go on the website, or we'll send out once where you register for this one, it will tell you other programs and you just register there. Okay, the same way you register for this, you click on that link, it will take you down to the other program that's being offered. But I think I should get it for you. You shouldn't go like that. I should get it for you. On the night, 6 to 7. Yeah, 3 to 4. 3 to 4 tomorrow. Okay? Everybody is welcome. for 1 hour of good fun. Okay, tell all your friends.
And adults too.
And adults too. And grandpa and grandmas too. If you have grandma and grandpa at home. So anybody and everybody can join tomorrow.
Are we going?
Okay?
Did you guys have fun today?
Oh my God.
So I saw somebody give us a thumbs up on here. If you had a good time tonight and you got good information, let me see your thumbs. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Why don't you put on your thumbs up?
Thank you. So we're going to say good night, and hopefully
everybody.
We'll see all of you tomorrow afternoon dancing. Thank you.
Are we dancing like?
Yeah, you dance whichever way you want. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good to see you all.
Much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye, Daniel. Bye-bye, Angie.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Chimama, leave the...
Yes. Bye, Angie. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Wow. I hope it's falling too over their heads.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried to really pull it down.